So I asked some questions about the new stadium, and I was presented with hundreds of them. I haven't had time to do them all. I've done some. Here is this week's. As I said before, I don't claim to be an expert on this stadium whatsoever, so I've just tried to answer the questions best I can. Peter Sims writes, Chris, have you ever met or gone for a drink with Mr. AV? You have both done amazing jobs in keeping us updated on the new stadium. Fill the gap. Thank you very much, Peter, for your kind comments. I'm glad so many people have enjoyed watching the videos, but answering your question on Mr. AV, no, I don't know who Mr. AV is. I've never gone for a drink with him. We have exchanged many emails, but if you're a Tottenham fan and you haven't seen Mr. AV's videos, then go onto his channel. They are absolutely superb videos. Mr. AV, during this stadium build, actually allowed me to use a lot of his clips on the end of my YouTube clips as well, which I'm very grateful for. But superb videos, well worth a watch. Joe Shaw asks, how does the new stadium compare to the likes of the Emirates? What makes ours so much better? Well, this is bigger, this is better, there will be an atmosphere here, and this will host Champions League football. Is that enough? Trucker says they can name it what they like, but it'll always be White Hart Lane to me. I think it will be White Hart Lane to a lot of people. We were at White Hart Lane for 118 years. That's never going to be forgotten. We were all brought up with White Hart Lane. We all went into White Hart Lane having that feel that it was our home stadium. This is a replacement, but I'm sure that this will be White Hart Lane to a lot of people as well. Bailey Jones writes, will there be any youth games or women's games before the team moves in? Well, funny enough, there are actually some under-23 games scheduled here in April and May. So will they go ahead? Who knows? We do have to play 2 test events here before the team move in for the first Premier League game or competitive game. So high chances of it being an under-23 game or a ladies game. Watch this space and just look out for the club's announcements. Jeff Barrell writes, with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club leaning very heavily on retaining the history in and around the stadium, why have they seemingly dropped the name Warmington House from the Tottenham Experience building? They do actually use it, but it is actually inside the shop. This is the back of Warmington House, which of course the sign is here, but they do mention Warmington House. It is very, very important too. Steve Cohen asks, when did the last crane come down? It was about 3 or 4 weeks ago actually. The area looks extremely clear now without any cranes, so we're getting closer. Mr. Samo Tube asks, is the store open for business yet? I want to take my family there to get some merchandise. It actually opened to the public on the 23rd of October. You obviously haven't been watching a lot of my videos talking about Europe's biggest club shop. The shop, as I say, is Europe's biggest club shop. It is absolutely amazing. The range in there is incredible. So get your family down there and spend some money. Stephen Parslow asks, in your opinion, will we move in March? No, I don't think we will move in March. If it was to happen this season, I think it would be April or May if the Premier League allowed it. The March date, 17th of March, was meant to be against Crystal Palace because they've progressed in the FA Cup now. Of course, that game will be rearranged. Highly likely that will be rearranged to a midweek game. And I can't see the opening of this stadium being a midweek game. Ben Goff says, I wonder how many panels got damaged and needed replacement. And Trucker says, who broke the windows? I actually put in a video the other day about the top section of the reception of the West Stand. They were actually replacing some of the panels. 5 of them actually needed replacing. And how they got damaged, they think that a lot of the workers accidentally dropped materials and machinery on the panels from when they were working on the roof. But work has been completed now and all replaced. Richard Evans writes, I was making love to my wife and instead of shouting yes, I shouted panels. Thanks Chris, you have a lot to answer for. That is absolutely nothing to do with me. I don't even talk about panels. Bickers61 says, Chris, where will the Bill Nicholson statue and gates going to be? I know the gates will be at the back of the hotel and the back of the Tottenham Experience. That's where they are going to be situated. That is on, or they were on the plans. Bill Nicholson statue. I was under the impression that a Bill Nicholson statue would be outside the stadium. However, someone did actually email me a month or two ago, and they had a response from the club saying the club had no plans at the moment to put a Bill Nicholson statue. So who knows in the future. I know that the ground did say on the plans originally that it would have statues outside it, but no more information at the moment. Sam Fran 101 says, on top of the north stand there is a row of what looks like boxes. I was wondering if they're going to be used for spectators, TV pundits or coaching staff. They are actually, well, it is actually the Sky Bar. It is the Sky Lounge. Fans that have paid the money for absolutely superb seats. They will have a fantastic view of the stadium and the pitch. A bar will be situated there. Incredible. It will be absolutely brilliant. Hopefully we will get to see it very soon. Ethan Godin writes, if you could pick an opponent for our first game at our new stadium, which club would you pick? I personally would have loved to have played Manchester United as the first game here in the brand new stadium. They just had a real ring to it, that the fact that we finished with Manchester United at White Hart Lane, and to have started with Man United at this new stadium just would have had you know, a perfect feel to it. But it's funny, at the very start of the season, or in the summer, I actually had a feeling that we might play Everton as our first game, and then when I saw it as the last game of the Premier League season, who knows, I could even be right. We could play Everton. It just depends on whether the Premier League allows it, so watch this space. Thomas Roberts writes, is the South Stand going to be renamed the Programme's End because of the Programme's wall and the concourse in the South Stand? The programme wall actually is a really lovely piece. It's a collage of front covers of programmes throughout Tottenham's history. Really lovely piece. Brian Huxley, is there a name for the new South Stand, or is it going to be called the Park Lane? I would just love everyone in the Park Lane and the Shelf Boys all to be in the new South Stand. Funny enough, at White Hart Lane, I used to be in the South Stand. The atmosphere was absolutely brilliant. I used to sit in row 3 in the South Stand. It was definitely my best place to be in the stadium. But I think everyone will refer to the South Stand as Park Lane. I think it's impossible. It's still situated in Park Lane. So to all the fans, I think it will just be called Park Lane. Dukes of Fuzz 67 writes, will the iconic Chick King relocate inside Tottenham Stadium? No, it won't. Chick King will remain here for now, but the new stadium has got many restaurants, bar areas in there, and a great variety as well. Dean Stockwell writes, as a man who has done many a stadium tour in his life, what bits have you seen on your travels that Tottenham could or should have incorporated? 2 further questions. Are you the bloke on those videos, and is Dave your dad? Talking about the stadium, I've been very lucky to go into Tottenham Stadium a few times, and everything I've seen so far has been extremely impressive. I have been to many stadiums. I am, you know, a bit geeky when it comes to stadiums. Even when I'm abroad, I go around and do stadium tours. But I think Tottenham have got it so right in terms of everything they've put together. I think they've taken little bits from each stadium, each great stadium that they've seen. They've taken little bits from, you know, Tunnel Club, for example, from Manchester City, but this stadium will have 2 tunnel clubs. The thing about us being so close to the pitch, I think, is they've got that so right. You know, the South Stand is just so close, you know, the pitch to the fans. and it will just have a really superb feel to it. And when you think of other stadiums like the Emirates, the Etihad and Wembley, you know that you are very far away from the pitch, so something like that is just so important. And is Dave your dad? No, Dave is not my dad. Dave is a Tottenham fan. I actually met him last year at Brighton. First time I met Dave, I was actually doing an interview with, or a short chat with Alan Mullery, and Dave interrupted, and that's how I got talking to Dave. We love you Tottenham, we do. Asks, have you enjoyed every visit to the stadium? Yes, I have. The ones where I've been inside have been incredibly special. Every week I come around to do a stadium update, as you probably know, and yes, I've enjoyed them all. Some of the ones in the snow and the cold weathers haven't been that great, but it's been nice to see the stadium grow. You know, definitely the South Stand. South Stand is probably my favourite to see being built, because it literally, from a few pieces of metal right up to what it is now, it just looks amazing. Yeah, cannot wait to get in now. Turks and Spurs asks, are the away fans housed in just the upper section or a mixture of both upper and lower? It is a mixture of upper and lower, yes. The away fans will be lower tier as well, and they will be housed now in the opposite corner to what it was at White Hart Lane. So the away fans used to go in by Park Lane, and now it is the opposite corner, right next to Lily White House. Hazard Destin writes, you look like Pochettino. I do hear that quite a lot actually, and pretty much on every video someone says you look like Pochettino. Personally, I don't think that I do, but this is what Pochettino said about it. Everyone thinks I look like you. What do you think?
Sorry?
Everyone thinks I look like you.
Yes.
What do you think?
You're a very lucky man.
You're lucky man. So if I haven't answered your question on this video, I will try and do it in a future video. But if you do have a question on the stadium, anything about the stadium build or the stadium itself, please put it in the comments section below, and I will try my very best to answer it or get the answer for you. Come on, you Spurs.